Today I'm heading to a beautiful and historic town just 20 minutes away from Glasgow. Most people only passed it on the way to the airport. It's a place with royal connections, dark stories and beautiful architecture. A place that helped shape Scotland's history and even fashion across the world. Welcome to Paisley! Paisley is one of the oldest towns in Scotland. It began in the 12th century when 13 monks came here from Cluny in France to build a small priory beside the River Cart. That little priory grew into Paisley Abbey, which became the heart of the town. The name Paisley likely comes from the Old Brittonic word Paisley, meaning major church or basilica. Long before the monks came, this area was part of the kingdom of Strathclyde, the ancient Celtic kingdom. In the 11th century, Strathclyde became part of the kingdom of Alba, which later grew into what we now call Scotland. Even the Romans passed through this area nearly 2,000 years ago. They called this nearby settlement Vandura. So when you walk around Paisley today, you're walking on the land that's seen people, kingdoms and cultures for almost 2 millennia. The most famous building in Paisley is the Abbey. It was founded in 1163 by those 13 monks. Back then, this was just quiet countryside surrounded by forests and rivers. The Abbey grew quickly and became one of the most important religious places in Scotland. A memorial desk for First World War and the second one as well. Let's go in. The building we see today mostly dates from the 14th century. When you step inside, you can really feel the age of the place. The cool stone, the tall arches and the beautiful stained glass windows. Even when the town outside is busy, the Abbey feels calm and quiet. It's a peaceful place full of history. If you take a moment to look around, you will notice many small details. Carved stones, old memorials, and marks left by different generations. Every part of the Abbey tells a story. Some of these stones have seen wars, royal visits, and centuries of everyday life pass by. I filmed this episode at the beginning of November, just before Remembrance Day. During that time, the ceiling inside the Abbey was lit in a deep crimson-red color. The light filled the space and completely changed the atmosphere. This lighting was part of a special installation to commemorate everyone who lost their life in the First World War. There was also an art installation of red poppies. The poppy is a powerful symbol of sacrifice. Each poppy represents remembrance for fallen soldiers and also hope for peace. Seeing this inside such an ancient building makes the moment even more emotional. It connects the past with the present and reminds us that history is not only something we read about, it still lives around us. Sometimes we just need to stop for a moment and really look around us to see it. Because without knowing our history, we cannot build the future. Paisley Abbey also has strong royal connections. It's the burial place of the Stuarts family, who later became kings and queens of Scotland and later of the whole United Kingdom. One of the most important people buried here is King Robert III of Scotland, who died in 1406. Because of this, Paisley Abbey is not just a local church. It's part of the story of Scotland itself. In a way, you could say that the story of the British royal family began right here, in this quiet place beside the River Cart. There is also a small cozy cafe inside the Abbey, which makes it a lovely place to stop, relax and enjoy a cuppa. Around the Abbey, a small settlement started to grow. Farmers, traders and craftsmen built homes and workshops nearby. Over time, it became a proper town. The Abbey brought wealth and learning to the area, helping Paisley grow and develop over the centuries. Not all parts of Paisley's history are peaceful. In 1697, the town became known for one of the last witch trials in Scotland. 7 people, 1 man and 6 women, were accused of witchcraft after a boy claimed they had cursed him. They were executed and buried at the place now called Maxwellton Cross, marked by the witch's stone.
So, James Clark building. Jim, is that your building?
Yes.
This building named after James Clark. He was one of the most important industrial figures in Paisley. James Clark was the founder of the Anchor Mill, which became one of the town's most famous textile factories. The anchor symbol became known all over the world and was a sign of quality Paisley thread. The anchor mills employed thousands of people and played a huge role in Paisley's growth during the Industrial Revolution. Thanks to factories like this one, Paisley became one of the most important textile towns in Scotland, and also richest industrial towns. The sounds of weaving looms filled the streets. The town's weavers were famous for their skills, and their best-known product was Paisley shawl, a large, colorful scarf covered with a beautiful teardrop-shaped design. The design itself came from Kashmir in India, but when the young Queen Victoria wore a Kashmir-style shawl, Paisley quickly began to make their own versions. The shawls became so popular that people all over Europe wanted them. Even though design came from far away, the world began to call it the Paisley pattern. So the town gave its name to one of the most famous textile patterns ever created. The shawl industry made Paisley wealthy, but it also depended on hard, detailed work. Many families worked from home on hand looms. You can still see old weavers' cottages today, like Smash-Shot Cottage, which show how workers lived in the 18th and 19th centuries. Smash-Shot refers to a small but important thread used in weaving. The weavers once fought for payment, leading to the famous Smash-Shot Day, which is still celebrated in Paisley every July. Even though shawls went out of fashion in 1870s, the Paisley pattern never disappeared. You can still see it today on clothes, scarves, wallpapers, and even tattoos, the symbol of the town's proud past. The River Cart flows quietly through the heart of Paisley. Today it feels calm and peaceful, but for centuries this river was the lifeline of the town. Its powered mills supported trade and helped Paisley grow from a small settlement into an important industrial town. Many of Paisley's streets, bridges, and buildings developed around this river. Even now, walking beside the water gives you a sense of how closely the town is connected to it. This is St. James Bridge, one of the bridges crossing the River Cart. For generations, local people have used this bridge in everyday life, walking to work, to school, and to the town center. During the industrial period, bridges like this were especially important. They connected workers to mills and factories that once lined the river banks. Today the river is much quieter, but the bridge still reminds us of that busy past. Just a short walk from here is one of the Paisley's most recognizable landmarks, the Red Bridge, officially known as Abercorn Bridge. Painted red, it stands out beautifully against stone buildings and the water below. The bridge was built in the 19th century, replacing all the crossings that stood here for hundreds of years. From here, you get some of the best views of Paisley Abbey and the old town. For many locals, this bridge is more than just a way to cross the river. It's part of Paisley's identity and favorite spot for photos and quiet moments by the water. Right in the town center, you will find an important statue and memorial. Paisley, like many towns across Scotland, suffered deeply during the First World War. Many local men never returned home, and their loss was felt in every street and every family. This monument is the Paisley War Memorial, also known as the Cenotaph, and it stands here in Paisley Cross. The memorial shows a powerful bronze sculpture called the Spirit of the Crusaders. The statue shows a medieval knight on a horseback alongside soldiers from the First World War. Together they show that bravery and sacrifice didn't belong to only one period of history. But for me, this monument also says something more. It reminds us that many of these men lost their lives in wars they didn't choose or want. And it shows how history can repeat itself. One war ends and another one begins. In the way, the monument reminds us why is it so important to learn from our history, so the same mistakes are not repeated again. Another important place is the Paisley Museum and Art Gallery, built in the 19th century. It's currently being renovated into a modern cultural center that will celebrate the town's art, science, and textile history. The museum's building already looks like a piece of art, and when it reopens, it will once again become the heart of culture in Paisley. During the Victorian times, Paisley was home to the Coates family, who owned one of the biggest thread-making companies in the world. The Coates family also gave a lot back to the town. One of their gifts is the incredible Coates Memorial Church, built in the late 1800s. It looks almost like a cathedral, with beautiful towers, carvings, and stained glass. It's sometimes called the Paisley's Cathedral that isn't a cathedral. The church is no longer used for regular service, but it's still one of the most impressive buildings in Scotland. The Coates family also built the Coates Observatory, opened in 1883, the oldest public observatory in Scotland. It allowed people to look at the stars through the telescope, and it's still open to visitors today. Imagine a working-class industrial town, but with people looking up at the stars. So I guess that's Paisley's spirit, practical but full of curiosity. And here is something that might surprise you. This little statue of a snail in a bottle tells a story that changed the law all over the world. In 1928, a woman named May Donahue came to a cafe here in Paisley with a friend. She ordered a bottle of ginger beer, poured some into her glass and drank it. But when she poured the rest, a dead snail slipped out of the bottle. She became ill and decided to take the manufacturer to court, even though she hadn't bought the drink herself, her friend had. The case went all the way to the House of Lords, and in 1932 it became one of the most famous legal decisions in history, Donahue versus Stevenson. The judges decided that manufacturers have a duty of care to these customers, meaning they must make sure these products are safe. This case became the foundation of modern consumer law and negligence law, not just in the UK, but in many countries around the world. So yes, one little snail in a bottle right here in Paisley changed the law for everyone. And here is a sweet local story. The famous Robertson's marmalade began right here in Paisley. In 1860, a grocer's wife started making marmalade from bitter oranges that her husband couldn't sell. It became so popular that it turned into a national brand, known all over Britain. So next time you have toast with marmalade, remember, it started in Paisley. Paisley's town centre is full of beautiful old buildings, many made from warm red or yellow sandstone. These buildings show the town's pride during its industrial golden age. The town hall near County Square is another grand Victorian landmark. It was recently restored and now hosts weddings, events and concerts. If you arrive by train from Glasgow, it's just a short walk to this square. From here, you are surrounded by history on all sides. Take a walk through the streets, and you will notice fine details in the architecture, showing the skills of local builders and craftsmen from a time when Paisley was rich and ambitious. Today, Paisley isn't just about history, it's also a lively university town, home to the University of the West of Scotland. Modern buildings stand beside sandstone ones, showing how the town keeps growing and changing. There are cozy cafes, small shops, and a strong sense of local pride. The people here are friendly, and the town feels relaxed and mix of old and new. So that's Paisley, a town full of history, character, and charm. From ancient kingdoms to royal connections, from witch trials to world-famous weavers, every street here has a story to tell. It's incredible to think this place is only 20 minutes from Glasgow, yet it feels like a world of its own. If you ever visit Scotland, don't just rush past it on your way to the airport. Stop in Paisley, walk by the Abbey, visit the museum and enjoy a coffee by the river. You will discover one of Scotland's hidden treasures, a town that shaped art, industry and even fashion around the world. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and join me next time for another journey through Scotland and beyond. Until next time, bye for now.